Are recording. Oh. It's now November 24th. It's Sunday. It's Sunday night. We've been building Lego blocks. And we've been wrestling. Hunter's been beating me up. Mama's been beating me up. Cheyenne tried to save Daddy. She came in and tried to help me, didn't she? Yes, she did. But Hunter, he just beat me up. Tried to throw me in the cat pee. Oh, God.
I wanted to throw you in the cat pee.
Yeah, well, I wasn't very nice to your pop. Anyway, what did we do today? We went down to the ballet studio, to Cheyenne's ballet studio, where they had an art show. And we looked at the art show. What else we look at? Come on over here, Hunt.
Daddy,
Come on over here.
Cheyenne was going to dance.
You thought she was going to dance? No, we're just looking at the paintings of the dancers. All right, we're rolling. This is called the Please and Thank You book. Richard Scarry's Please and Thank You book. Oh, Hunter. Daddy's goosing Mama. There's you. You look so pretty. You have on a pink dress. All right, let's see. This story is called... Okay. This story is called The Busy Day. And it says, Huckle and Loli get out of bed. They washed their faces and brushed their teeth, but of course, Loli's a worm with one foot, so he didn't have much hair to brush, does he? After dressing, they put away their pajamas very neatly, and then at breakfast, they chew their food slowly and quietly, and it looks to me like they're eating cereal, doesn't it? Look at this. Is this cereal? Hunt? Let's not read two books. Let's read this book until we get to that book, okay? All righty, now. When they'd finished, they asked to be excused from the table, and everyone helped Mama to clear the table. Thank you, Loli. Then all the children went off to school, and little sister, that's you. That's little sister, they call it. And little sister's shoelace came untied, and so, look at this. She says, thank you, Loli, because he ties her shoelace. Everybody waited until Loli tied it. See, they all stopped. And then at school, the teacher was waiting to greet them. Good morning, Miss Honey. Their teacher's name is Miss Honey. What's your teacher's name, Honey?
Mrs. Hanson.
It's what?
Mrs. Hanson.
Hanson. Mrs. Hanson.
Mrs. Hanson.
Oh, okay. Well, they said, good morning, Miss Honey. This is Miss Honey. Miss Honey asked them to copy some words from the blackboard, and when they were done, Loli helped Miss Honey by cleaning off the blackboard. Loli's kind of weird there. He's cleaning off the blackboard. And then during recess, they all went out to play. They climb up the slide. Look, here comes Cheyenne. Sister's going up the slide, and she's going to go... Loli went down the slide, and he flew up in the air. Well, in the afternoon, everyone cut up pieces of colored paper, and they pasted them together to make pictures. And then, pring, the school bell rang, and it's time to go home. Loli helped little sister clean up her desk. He takes good care of her because she's younger than the others. Now, don't spill any paste, Loli. Don't get the paste on the floor, for heaven's sake. But on the way home, after school was over, Loli fell into a mud puddle. Poor Loli the worm. But actually, worms would probably like the mud, don't you think?
Yeah.
I think they would. Well, he left muddy footprints all over Mother Cat's clean floor. Loli, said Mother, you know you should never come into the house with a muddy foot. He's only got one foot, doesn't he? And she had to give Loli a bath. Oh, my, she said, he's a slippery little fellow. He shot right out of her hands. So she took a towel and she dried him off, and he said, and she got him dressed for supper. Now, at the supper table, everyone ate with his fork, and nobody ate with his fingers or with his foot. Loli's not supposed to eat with his foot. And after supper, Daddy gave everyone a piggyback ride to bed. Good night, all, said Daddy. And that was the end of the story. What do you think?
And the end of that story?
Ah, it's the end of that story. Okay, well, we'll read this one next because I don't know if we're going to have time to get everything on the tape here. Then maybe we'll come back to that. It said, this one is called The Mice and the Clockwork Bus. Look at all these little cute little mousies, huh? Miceies.
This is my book.
That's your book, isn't it? It said, D. Rat, the junk merchant, ran the only bus service for miles. And his bicycle bus was made out of a roller skate and a spool from his own junkyard. Now look at this. See? He's got a spool, like Mom has spools of thread, you know? And he's made some little pedals, and this is a what? A roller skate. So he's made kind of a bus.
Yeah.
So,
And if someone found that roller skate down there, they would take it away and ride it.
that's probably they would. But what happened is that because the mice needed a bus, Mr. Rat said, well, he'll make a bus out of it. And everyone called this the rattle trap because it was so dangerous and overcrowded, and each day the passengers clamored aboard to get to school or to go to work. And each day someone fell off and had to walk the rest of the way. Oh, bow! Okay, stop squeaking, he said. I fell off. Rotten bus service. Now, when the rattle trap reached a hill, everyone had to get off and push. They go, everybody push harder. Only D-Rat remained seated, counting his money from the fares, and of course everybody was always late for work, even the judge. Now, D-Rat was a terrible driver, too. One day, the bus tipped over going around a corner, and all the passengers spilled out into the leaves. Luckily, no one was seriously hurt. Look out! Well, that evening, the mice who lived in a shoe decided to do something about the rattle trap. We take our lives in our paws every time we ride in it, said Pa. And everyone talked at once. Sue says, I tore my dress. And Grandpa, he just doesn't know what to make of it. Ann says, Mick fell off again. I had to walk. I didn't push, said Mary. It's not safe for Grandma Mouse. It's too crowded to knit, says Ma. I can't knit when I'm on the rattle trap. And so they talked deep into the night until suddenly Pip had an idea. Why don't we build our own bus, he said. Oh, what a wonderful idea. What a wonderful plan, said the family. Where do we begin? Well, in D-Rat's junkyard, answered Pip. Now look where they live. Where do the miceys live?
The little old lady that lived in a shoe.
Well, it's kind of like that.
So many kids, she didn't know what to do. So she gave them some brown salad and bread, and she whipped them on family and put them to bed.
Hunter, you know the whole rhyme. How do you know that?
I don't know.
I mean, we've done it a few times, but you know it all, don't you? She whipped them all soundly and put them to bed. Well, it's just like the old woman who lives in a shoe. It's kind of a shoe, and they built a little house out of the shoe, and that's where they live.
Yeah.
So the next morning, they went to D-Rat, and they asked him if they could buy a few things from his junkyard. Well, now, D-Rat had never trusted his own left paw, let alone mice, pointed to a pile of rubbish. Choose from that lot over there, he snarled. And so they picked through the rubbish and found just what they needed. Oh, it's a sun helmet. Ah, here's a solar teepee. It's ticking. It's a clock. And look at all the mice are going through the junkyard, and they're finding things. And they needed a lock. This will be good. This will make the chassis, and this will be our motor. And they needed a clock and a pith helmet. This should keep us dry. And we need these for wheels, silly. So look at all the mice are taking some wheels, 4 pulleys. And so the mice set to work. And first they attached the 4 pulleys with rope tires to the corners of the lock. And then they hammered in the 4 pillars. Look at this. Look at this. They're making a car. And then they're putting up the clock. Look at the big alarm clock. Go. With much huffing and puffing and blowing, they managed to haul the clock up into position. And then they strapped the clock to the key to the lock, and they built a spiral staircase. And Paul removed the balance wheel and round the clock. Look at this. So they get... And the motor roared. And the hands whizzed around, and Grandpa attached the belt drive to the wheels. And the hardest job was to lift the hat over the spiral staircase and onto the 4 pillars. But they did. And so they lifted it, got the ropes. So here's the, look at this. This is the lock with the wheels on it. And look at this. This is the clock, and they wind it up, and then it goes. And they put the helmet on top. And they built the stairway up the side of the hat with a door at the top, and then they put the windows around the middle of the balcony to keep the passengers from falling off. And the driver's seat was on the top deck with seats all around shaded by a huge umbrella. Look what they have made.
Yeah.
We just need some steps, this guy says. I can see for miles. I'll drive, said Granny. and the controls went down past the playroom windows and through the brim and into the engine. And at last, all that remained to build were steps to the lower deck and a rope ladder to the brim. Oh, what a clever family! The Clockwork Bus was finished. Yay! So everyone came to admire the Clockwork Bus, except for D-Rat, who was out gathering junk. And everyone got a free ride on the first day. And Pa wound up the motor with some help from Pip, and Grandma climbed into the driver's seat. And as they set off, everyone cheered. Hey, everybody, climb aboard! Yay! And when D-Rat arrived in his rattletrap, he saw his passengers all happily seated in the new bus. With Grandma driving, nobody fell off as the bus easily climbed the hill. D-Rat was mad. He was so mad. Why is he mad?
Because they made that.
Because they made this and they're not riding on his roller skate anymore, are they?
Yeah.
I'll fix them, he said. He dug a big hole for the bus to fall into. And then he disguised the trap with twigs and leaves, and he waited.
That's too little.
Well, I think it's too little, too. And at last he heard it coming, and he hopped onto a twig to watch, and then he fell in. D-Rat fell in. And as the bus came by, everyone laughed and cheered to see D-Rat's head poking out of the hole. But Grammy just drove right on by.
Look, it's too little.
It was too little anyway, wasn't it?
Yeah. Now it's
The next day,
girl.
D-Rat had a new idea. He blocked the narrow road with his junk. That would stop the bus when it did, so the passengers got off and cleared it. Unhappily for D-Rat, the junk rolled and bounced downhill onto the rattletrap, which was smashed into little pieces. Oh no, they ruined my rattletrap bus. And now that D-Rat had no bus, he was even more determined that the mice should not have one either. And as he watched Pip winding the bus, he had another idea. I'll steal their key. I'll take the key, and then their bus won't work. So, that night he crept toward the Clockwork Bus and stealthily removed the key. And an instant too late, an alert watch mouse squirted a fire extinguisher at D-Rat, who escaped into the night like a soapy phantom. Look at that. Well, the next morning, the watch mouse told the mice who lived in the shoe that the key had been stolen by someone very large and covered with sticky foam. The mice didn't have to guess too hard about who the thief would be, and anyway, Mick was already following the sticky footprints. And they followed the footprints to the junkyard, and there was a sticky D-Rat hiding in a coffee cup amidst the ruins of his rattletrap, clutching their key. "Caught you," said Pa. "We're going to see what the judge has to say about this." And so the prisoner was brought before the judge, who was one of the passengers. 3 years of hard work, commanded the judge. "And since you're so fond of keys, you can be the clock winder for the Clockwork Bus." "I won't," shouted D-Rat. 4 years, said the judge. And the mice who lived in the shoe ran the only bus service for miles, and their Clockwork Bus had cheap seats for all, and no one falls off, and everyone gets to work on time as long as D-Rat keeps winding the clock. And even though they have to put up with him, he's kept too busy to talk. And he just goes, "Whew, they're making me work hard."
No, this one.
Hop on Pop
Shut up!
and
There's
Hunter.
me.
Are we going to read Hop on Pop? Well, there's a pup flying through the air, and it says, "Up, pup, pup is up." Cup, pup. This is a pup in
A cup.
pup cup. This is a cup on
A dog.
a pup.
A pup.
A cup, a pup cup, a cup on pup.
Rhymes.
This is a mouse house and a mouse on a...
House.
Now, this is a house mouse and a house on a...
Mouse. That rhymes.
All tall. We're all tall. All small. We're all
Small.
Oh, that's
Listen
right.
to me.
small.
I one.
Oh.
This one. And this one.
Oh. All ball. We all play ball.
We all play
This
ball.
is a ball wall up on a wall. Would you want to play up there?
No.
What would happen?
The balls would fall off.
Yeah, and what about the people?
They
This
would
one looks
fall
like he's
off.
going to fall off. Uh-oh. All fall. Fall off the wall.
That rhymes. All this stuff rhymes.
It all rhymes. Day, play. We play all day. Night, fight. We fight all
Night.
night. He, me. He's after me. What is it after him?
Baby's toe. Yeah. And then the kid bites his
I know.
tail.
You know what the words say?
What?
The words say, him, Jim. Jim is after him. And Jim is biting the lion's tail or whatever that thing is. But the lion is biting Daddy's foot. Well, CB. We see a B. CB3. Now we see 3. 1, 2, 3. Are biting me. Ouch, ouch, ouch. 3 tree. 3 fish in a
Tree.
fish in a tree. How can that be?
Be.
Red, red. They call me red, red bed. I am in
Bed.
bed. Red, Ned, and Ted, and Ed are in bed. Oh, hell. Pat, Pat. They call him Pat. Pat sat on a...
Hat.
Uh-oh, he sat on a hat. Pat's cat. Pat sat on a cat. Now, Pat sat on a
What?
bat.
Bat.
It's a baseball bat he's sitting there. So Pat sits on things, doesn't he? He sat on a hat and a cat and a bat. They all rhyme. No, Pat, no, don't sit on that. What is it?
Pat.
It's cactus, isn't it? Oh, sad Dad. Bad had. Dad is sad, very, very sad. He had a bad day. What a day Dad had. Oh, poor Daddy. Ting, thing. What is that thing? Thing, sing. That thing can sing. Long song. A long, long song. Goodbye, thing. You sing too long.
You sing too
This
long.
weird-looking thing is singing, and this girl says, no, goodbye, thing. We don't want to hear that. Walk, walk. We want to walk. Walk,
That's
talk.
me.
We like to talk. There's Cheyenne and Hunter walking down the street. It says, walk, walk. We like to walk. Walk, talk. We like to talk. Hop, pop. We like to hop. We like to hop on top of pop. And that's just what you two were doing to me a little bit ago. You're jumping on your daddy.
No, look at that's the cover.
I know, it is the cover. Let's look at the cover. See?
Yeah.
There it is.
Except it's smaller.
Yeah, it's smaller on the cover. They're hopping on Pop. Stop! You must not hop on Pop, he says. And they're going, what? Mr. Brown and Mrs. Brown. Mr. Brown is upside...
Oh, this is too
Mr.
much
Brown is
writing.
upside down. Pup up and Brown down. Pup is down. Where's Brown? Shoo! Well, where is Brown? There is Brown. Mr. Brown is out of town.
Mr. Brown is
He's shooting through the air over the rooftops, flying away. Well, back black, Brown came back. Brown came back with Mr.
black.
Black. That's right. Snack, snack, eat a snack. Eat a snack with Brown and...
Black.
That's right. Jump, bump, he jumped and he bumped. Fast, passed, he went past fast. Went to the tent, sent. He went into the tent, and I sent him out of the tent. Wet get, 2 dogs get wet. Help! Yelp! They yelp for help. Why are they yelping for help?
Because they don't want to be in the water.
They're in the water and they're all wet, aren't they? What do you think, Sean?
I don't like them too.
No. Will went uphill.
Jack and Jill went up the hill to fetch a pail of water. Jack fell down and broke his crown. Didn't Jill came tumbling after.
That's a very good song. That's a very good rhyme. You know it, don't you?
Yeah.
Will, hill, still. Will is uphill still.
Yeah.
Mother, father, sister, brother. That one is my other brother. Cheyenne is saying, that one is my other brother. My brothers read a little bit, little words like if and it. My father can read big words like Constantinople and Timbuktu. Say, what does this say?
What?
She-hee-me-wee, pop-pop-pop, pop-pop-pop. Heat tree bee, hop, pop, stop. Ask me tomorrow, but not today.
What? Look at these letters.
Say. What does this say? See, he, me, we. Pat, pup, pop. He, tree, bee. Hop, top, stop! Boop! Bop, ba, ba, da,
We got a lot of time left.
We don't have much time left. Dad wants to listen to his show in there. We'll go in and turn it on, and we'll see about reading the Pig Will and Pig Won't. Mom, are you going to watch the show with Dad? Ah.
We got a little bit of time
Right.
to record Pig Will. So
Huh?
we got a little time to record that.
I imagine. I just want to see this new show called Hot Country Nights. Okay, Cheyenne, come here, hon. Oh, boy. Here we go. This one is called Pig Will and Pig Won't.
Pig Will and Pig Won't. Pig Will and Pig Won't.
It says, Mother Pig had two little pigs, Pig Will and Pig Won't. And whenever she asked them to do something, Pig Will said, I will, but Pig Won't said, I won't. Now, if Daddy asked them to play more quietly, Pig Will said, I will, but Pig Won't said, I won't.
This is a guava.
Yeah, okay. So, when Mother asked, will someone please empty the wastebasket, who do you suppose said, I will? Well, one day Daddy said, just a second, let me get to that part. It says, one day Daddy said, who will come to the boatyard and help me work in the boat? Well, Pig Will said, I will, and guess who said, I won't?
Mama Pig.
Okay. So Daddy and Pig Will drove to the boatyard to work, and Pig Won't stayed home. And Mother Pig stayed in her room, and all afternoon she was writing a children's book, and she paid no attention to Pig Won't. Look at, he's a grouch, isn't he?
Yeah.
And he had no one to play with, and he had no one to talk to, so Pig Won't spent a very boring afternoon. But now everyone at the boatyard was working busily and having a good time, and Pig Will helped Daddy paint the boat. They put a big face on it. Look at that. They put a big shark face on it. He helped Banana Gorilla build a banana boat, and he helped Sally Bunny varnish her water skis, and Willie Bear hosted him up to the top of the mast on the sailboat, and there Pig Will fixed the wind vane. Hard workers get very hungry, and so everyone stopped to have ice cream. Oh, somebody forgot to bring napkins, so they're all getting chocolate-faced. And when Pig Will got back home, he told Pig Won't about having such a good time. Here's the show. Anyway, he told Pig Won't about having such a good time. And all of a sudden, Pig Won't began to understand that work, especially if you're helping others, can be lots of fun. I must stop saying I won't all the time, he said. Well, the very next day, his mother asked if someone would help her sweep, and right away, Pig Will said, I will, and right away, Pig Won't said, me too. And so from that day on, Pig Won't was always being called Pig Me Too. And that's our story. Well, that's about it. We're going to count down now. Let's count down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.